Believe it or not, some stress can do the body good. In a potentially dangerous or pressure-filled situation, a little adrenaline can actually help you power through. Of course, excessive stress is far from beneficial. Here's a look at how it can do some serious damage to your body. During times of acute stress, you might feel as if you are unable to breathe normally and easily. Your chest tightens and your airways constrict, which can send you into full panic mode. However, there are strategies available to help calm your body. WebMD suggests sit or lie down and relax your shoulders as much as you can. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds and out through pursed lips, like you're blowing out a candle for 8.
Everybody sit on the floor, Indian style like me. Oh my God, if you're wearing a dress, please keep your knees together. Nobody wants to see that.
Despite how it may feel, rapid breathing caused by stress is not a major issue for most people, and it will typically go away on its own. It can be dangerous, though, for those with existing respiratory issues like asthma or COPD. The American Psychological Association recommends working with a psychologist to learn the best coping mechanisms for your body. It may be hard to believe, but neck soreness and other aches and pains can be a result of looming worry and anxiety. When faced with a stressful predicament, your body tenses up and tightens its muscles. This is actually a vital function, as the muscles are then able to protect against injuries, according to the American Institute of Health. But if your stress is recurring and perpetual, the outlet reports, your muscles may not get the chance to relax. Tight muscles cause headaches, back and shoulder pain, and body aches. Over time, this can set off an unhealthy cycle if you turn to pain medication for relief.
It's time for a more comfortable you.
A 2015 analysis published in the Malaysian Journal of Medical Sciences demonstrated that stress has a measurable effect on one's pain perception, while also noting that some stress can have a bit of a pain-reducing effect. The study added, stress itself is subjective, with different emotions contributing to its manifestations. Even if you've been tracking your cycle religiously, don't be shocked if your period still pops up at the most inconvenient possible time, or doesn't happen at all. If you've been experiencing a lot of stress and dealing with anxiety, your cycle could go completely out of whack.
Oh, it hurts. Suck it up and deal with it.
As Everyday Health explained, stress directly affects your hormones, and in turn, this can impact everything from ovulation to your estrogen levels. And of course, if your ovaries are not functioning at their peak capacity, your otherwise predictable period may pay the price. Have you been feeling like you're not exactly in the mood? Clinical psychologist Alicia H. Clark told Self, during times of stress, we need to survive, not procreate.
Never seen levels quite this high.
As the magazine outlined, the fight or flight stress response amps up your body's natural survival instincts and leaves the non-essentials on the back burner, so to speak. Long-term, stress can lead to the overproduction of cortisol in our brains, which can also have a negative impact on your love life. Women's health expert Dr. Jennifer Wider explained to the outlet that even if you can muster up the physical and mental energy to get busy, achieving the big O can be more difficult because of acute or chronic stress. And of course, getting intimate with your partner is generally not a mind-over-matter type of activity. Therapist Rachel Needle told Self, your biggest sex organ is your brain. If you have a busy mind and are distracted, it's going to be harder to focus on your arousal, the pleasurable sensations. But don't freak out, there's some good news. Clark explained that intimacy can actually have a stress-reducing effect. So spending time with your other half, relaxing and getting close could help unravel the stressful cycle. It's no surprise that women facing issues with infertility experience intense amounts of stress. It can be devastating for someone who wants a child to be unable to conceive. But it appears that stress and anxiety can cause a couple to have even more trouble conceiving.
Is there a clock that's ticking?
Are you in a hurry to be heading somewhere?
There's always a clock.
While previous research has been unable to definitively point to the issue, a 2018 study found that women who addressed their emotional distress had higher subsequent rates of pregnancy. What's more, it was determined that group therapy was sometimes the best approach to helping women, mentally and physically. But getting pregnant isn't the only potential issue that stressed-out moms-to-be may face. Stress has long been considered a risk factor for miscarriage, according to WebMD. An OBGYN told the site, We now know the effects of stress on the fetus are very real and produce a specific reaction in the uterus. So you really need to reduce it whatever way you can. The American Psychological Association reported that stress has the power to effectively weaken the immune system. Chronic stress, in particular, significantly suppresses the immune system and inhibits the body's ability to respond to foreign invaders. As explained by Psychology Today, ongoing stress makes us susceptible to illness and disease because the brain sends defense signals to the endocrine system, which then releases an array of hormones that severely depresses our immunity at the same time. Some experts claim that stress is responsible for as much as 90% of all illnesses and diseases, including cancer and heart disease. The perpetual release of stress-induced cortisol can cause a reduction in infection-fighting white blood cells. It can also foster the growth of tumors and lead to tissue damage. It's a chain reaction and sufficient reason to reevaluate your stressors and seek out helpful coping mechanisms. You know when you get a nervous stomach before an important test or big client meeting? Well, stress can wreak havoc on your gastrointestinal tract, as well as lead to a whole host of issues. As explained by Everyday Health, the brain and the gut are perpetually communicating and intricately connected. Gastroenterologist Kenneth Koch told the outlet, "Stress can affect every part of the digestive system."
You were supposed to figure this all out.
According to Scientific American, this intestinal nervous system is sometimes even referred to as the second brain. When confronted with a stressful situation, this so-called second brain of yours may feel the unpleasant effects, resulting in spasms, excessive acid, nausea, diarrhea, cramping, inflammation, and worsening of conditions like IBS. It's not always an unhealthy diet or lack of exercise that puts you at risk for type 2 diabetes. In fact, you may need to do more than cut out refined sugar and carbs or amp up your workout game. As it turns out, prolonged stress and the disease have been strongly linked. And more frequently, stress can make it difficult for those living with the condition to manage their glucose levels. According to Healthline, the release of the hormones caused by stress, adrenaline and cortisol, can impact glucose. These hormones circulate in the bloodstream and are transported to the muscles so you can react in a fight or flight situation. As a result of this rapid response, your body has a difficult time breaking down the glucose that was produced from that initial stressor. If you're lying awake at night staring at the ceiling, thinking about all the things that could go wrong at work, at home, and everywhere in between, know that you are in good company. A 2004 study published in the British Journal of Health Psychology indicated a direct connection between work stress and sleepless nights.
It's just a sketch. That's all we have.
2 days? We need 2 weeks.
This is how we get off this floor.
Dave, can you get some sales figures on pizza boxes?
I feel sick.
While you may find your brain unraveling with worries at 3 a.m., it's not just your inner monologue that's keeping you awake. There is also a physiological reaction caused by stress that puts you in a state of hyperdrive, stemming from a response in either the nervous system or endocrine system, according to the National Sleep Foundation. Adding insult to injury, sleep deprivation itself can be an added source of stress. Worrying that once again you won't get your Z's can keep you buzzing into the wee hours, which we're all likely very familiar with. Midnight snack, anyone?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Fire!
Oh!
When stress causes cortisol to rush into the bloodstream, your blood vessels immediately constrict. This spikes your heart rate and creates high blood pressure. Many of us might think that once you're no longer under stress, your blood pressure will return to its regular rate, but that might not be the case. In many scenarios, stress can be ongoing. While we might not feel like we're in imminent danger or have that familiar rush of fight or flight adrenaline, the non-stop pressure of life's little everyday tasks can still be brutal on our bodies. The American Heart Association reported, chronic stress causes our bodies to go into high gear on and off for days or weeks at a time. The long-term effects of chronic stress on blood pressure and heart health require continuing study. But the outlet does note that stress can cause you to lead a less healthy lifestyle, like making bad food choices, not exercising, and drinking too much alcohol, further fueling the risk to your heart. If you find yourself craving sugary sweets or salty snacks when you are stressed out, it's not that you're simply hungry. This desire can be triggered by the rush of cortisol your body is feeling. And it can trick you into thinking you absolutely need French fries or whatever snack to get you through your stressful moments. While some people may eat their feelings as a way to face the nonstop pressure of work and life, others may refrain from touching any food at all. A psychologist confirmed in an interview with Health Essentials. Some people overeat when they feel stressed, and other people lose track of their appetite. Those who stop eating are so focused on their stress that they don't hear or tune into their hunger cues. Those who overeat are attempting to distract themselves with food. Feeling the pressure? If you occasionally get cold sores, don't be surprised if one pops up during periods of stress. According to Harvard Health, the herpes simplex virus remains dormant most of the time, usually showing no symptoms. But occasionally, the virus presents itself as painful mouth blisters. It could be a sunburn that does it, or hormonal changes, or yes, even stress. A researcher told WebMD, "It is long-term stress that can cause outbreaks. Persistent stressors and very high levels of anxiety cause genital herpes recurrence, whereas transient mood states, short-term stressors, and life-changing events did not."
Hey, Jerry, what's up? You look stressed.
Physical exhaustion can also be damaging to your immune system, which can then also cause a herpes outbreak, according to Harvard Health. Does stressing out lead to breaking out? A dermatology professor told WebMD, "When you already have acne and you get into a stressful situation, that seems to be when your acne really flares up."
You know, I'm really good with pimples. People. I'm good with people, not pimples. Obviously, I'm not good with pimples. That would be weird.
Yes, as if you needed another thing to worry about, you can add pimples to your list of stress-induced symptoms. 2 separate studies cited by the outlet found that college students, for example, experienced a surge in blemishes right around academic testing time. But while the relation is clear, researchers are still trying to understand exactly why this happens. One theory, according to the professor, is that the cells that make oil are impacted by stress hormones, which then effectively clog the hair follicles, leading to a pimple or acne cyst. Stress and depression go hand in hand. As a researcher revealed to WebMD, like email and email spam, a little stress is good, but too much is bad. You'll need to shut down and reboot. While all types of stress can have mental and emotional repercussions, prolonged stress is most commonly associated with clinical depression. Once again, stress hormones play the lead role in messing with your moods. Cortisol increases, and your body's happy hormones are reduced. Stress-induced depression can also be a vicious cycle. When you're feeling overwhelmed or blue, you tend to put self-care on the back burner. But there are many effective tools to help reduce stress and treat depression. One easy way to start is with low-impact exercise. Physical activity fosters the production of feel-good, mood-boosting endorphins. Even just 30 minutes of light jogging or biking can help, according to WebMD. Of course, depression and chronic stress can feel different for each of us, so talk to your doctor about how you can learn to feel your best. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Health Digest videos about your favorite topics are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.